Today I wanted to talk to you about LSA. I wanted to talk to you about why this food is good for you, explain a little about its history, and also to explain how and why you should make it yourself. Now you might ask, what is LSA? In Australia it's a health food that you can buy in most supermarkets and health food stores, and it's composed of three prime ingredients, these here that you see. Linseed is the first and major ingredient and is the prime reason to have and make LSA. In other parts of the world you'll know this as flaxseed, almonds also, and sunflower seeds. Now the linseed is consumed because it's very high in essential fatty acids, especially omega-3, but it also contains heaps of other nutrients. Now all seeds, if you think about it, contain all the nutrition to start a new plant. So they are excellent places to go for vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, etc. They're also high in proteins and energy in the form of the oils. Now LSA was made popular by Sandra Cabot's book, The Liver Cleansing Diet. However, its origin isn't from there. The formula and the name of LSA was actually created at our family breakfast table when I was a teenager. Back in the late 70s, my father, who was a naturopath and practiced as a naturopath for over 40 years, developed a keen interest in linseed and began to eat it himself and to promote it to his patients. In 1978 he wrote this article on linseed. I'll put a link to that article in the description below, and you can read that for more information about linseed and why you should eat it. The issue is that linseed, being a very small seed, is difficult to chew, and so the best way to prepare it is to grind it. Almonds, sunflower seeds, you can chew to some extent, but sunflower particularly, being again a small seed, you're not likely to chew efficiently. Quite a lot of that is going to pass through your digestive tract unchewed. So the logical thing is to mix them together and grind them. And so we created what we called LSA for linseed, sunflower, almonds, and began to produce that. Here you'll see the label for the first commercially produced LSA that we produced. It was vacuum packed and sealed in tins. Now the formula that my family developed was 3 parts linseed, and that's by volume, 2 parts sunflower, and 1 part almonds. Now you can measure that quite simply by using something like a tablespoon or a cup, depending on the quantity you're making. But if you're making it just for, say, 1 or 2 people, a tablespoon is an excellent way to go. I've measured these out: 3 tablespoons of linseed, 2 of sunflower, and 1 of almonds, which is approximately 8 to 10 almonds, depending on their size. So sometimes it may be simpler to count them. Now, why should you make it yourself? Because you can buy it quite readily in supermarkets, as I said, these days. The reason is quality. You don't really know the quality of ingredients, and I have seen a product on the shelf which says it's made from broken almonds. Now, almonds are protected by this brown skin that they have on them, and that stops the oils going rancid. So if it's broken, you'll get rancidity developing on the surfaces. So this means that you've got a sub-quality product. Also, that they were using stabilized sunflower seed, which means that they've actually changed the nature of the oil in the sunflowers. To me, that goes totally against the whole philosophy and concept of eating these seeds. You need to get the best quality and to have them as fresh as possible. Linseed oils, especially because of the high omega-3 essential fatty acid content, go rancid very, very quickly and at low temperatures. So the best thing that you can do for yourself if you're going to eat LSA is to make it yourself fresh for each meal. If you do keep it refrigerated somewhere very cool. The simple way to make it and it's fairly inexpensive, is to utilize a coffee grinder. Now, if you're doing a larger quantity, you can put them in individually and do them that way, and that will work quite well. But if you're actually mixing them together, only making a quantity, say for personal use or a couple of people, doing them all together is easy. But because of the difference in size, that the almonds are so much bigger, it's worthwhile just chopping the almonds up first, and then they will equally blend up and be nice and fine. And it only takes a moment to do that. So having broken the almonds down like that, they're going to grind much quicker. It's a little tricky getting them off this plate into here without spilling it everywhere. You wouldn't normally be doing that. Now, it doesn't take long in here to make it sufficiently fine for eating. So there, in a few seconds, is a nice finely ground LSA ready for eating. Now, how are you going to eat it? The best way is to combine it with fruit, both fresh or cooked fruit. You can, of course, use it with a good whole grain cereal if you like. If you are adding it to a porridge, do so only after the porridge has been cooked. You don't really want to cook LSA. By cooking it, you're actually degrading the nutrients in it. Yes, you can cook with it, but you are losing some nutrition. So adding it after you've cooked your porridge, mixing it in, you'll then still retain most of that nutrition. But I personally recommend having it with fruit. That's a great way to get away from starch. Making LSA yourself also gives you the option to go beyond our original formula and add some extra ingredients that will give you a wider range of nutrition. The first I'd recommend would be some chia, which contains lots of essential fatty acids, very similar to linseed. Very nutritious, a really good addition. Also sesame seed, which is high in calcium, and you could add some pumpkin seeds as well, which are high in zinc. The other thing that you could consider is Brazil nuts. Now, Brazil nuts are very rich in selenium, one of the richest foods in the world in selenium. That's principally because they come from one place, the Amazon Valley. Now, you only need around 3 Brazil nuts a day, so you're not going to need to add a lot of those to really lift your selenium intake. So there's some ideas of what you can add to give it something extra, but certainly make some LSA, make it fresh and enjoy.